there, welcome back. So did you know that except for alligators and crocodiles, nearly all reptiles lay their eggs and then abandon them, and they offer no care to the eggs or the little critters that break out of them. For example, here's the western fence lizard of Yosemite. These guys dig a hole and they lay their eggs, and then they just take off, leaving the eggs and the little lizards to fend for themselves once they break out. And some experts think that it's because they only have one opening for their reproductive, digestive, and urinary systems. And it's because of this that they really can't distinguish between the miracle of life and pooping. One species goes a step further, and this is the Labord's chameleon of southwest Madagascar. And she lays all of her eggs before winter, and they spend 8 to 9 months developing. But here's the key. This species only lives 4 to 5 months. They have the shortest lifespan of all four-legged vertebrates. And by the time they hatch, all of the adults are dead, and it is up to the new hatchlings to carry on the family name. Pretty cold-blooded, right? Yeah, I know, that was bad. But herpetologists maintain that the every lizard for himself philosophy is what has enabled these guys to survive for about 320 million years. And it turns out that we all have a lizard brain. So imagine that your fist is a model of the brain. What you need to know is that it develops from the bottom up and the back forward. And Paul MacLean first proposed the idea of the lizard brain in 1957. And he maintained that the brain consists of 3 sections nested based on their evolutionary age. The survival brain develops first. The emotional brain or the limbic system sits in the middle and it develops next. And then the thinking brain is on the outermost edge and it develops last. The oldest reptilian brain is the survival brain, and it controls all of our vital functions such as heart rate and breathing and body temperature. But it also controls the 4 major human instincts, or the 4 F's. Ready? Fight, flight, feed, and fornicate. The emotional brain, or the limbic system, developed when mammals came on the scene. And this is the difference between lower and higher life forms. And it's why we have empathy, compassion. It's why we nurture and care for our young, even when they drive us crazy. The thinking brain, or the neocortex, is the largest, outermost, and newest part of the human brain. And this is the part of the brain that handles all of the executive functions, like decision-making and judgment and reasoning. This is where we imagine things that haven't happened, and we invent things we never imagined. And here's a real critical key. Remember that I said that the brain develops from the bottom up and the back front? The prefrontal cortex, or the part right behind your forehead, is the very last to develop, and it is where things like judgment and weighing rewards and consequences for our decisions happen. And that isn't done cooking completely until our mid-20s. But here's the good news. Thanks to neuroplasticity, you are not stuck with your 25-year-old brain. In fact, in the last 3 minutes that it took you to listen to this and learn a little something new, you actually made new neural connections up there. Well done. Want to learn more about how the brain works and how to make it work better for you? Check out my book, Happier Hour with Einstein, and the full-color companion gratitude journal, available now on Amazon. And if you enjoyed this neuro nugget, pass it on to someone in your corner of the world, because life is always better when you share the good stuff.